ASML and TSMC sit at the center of the Silicon Cold War. And if either one of these companies stop working tomorrow, the modern technology economy would start to break almost immediately. No more leading edge AI chips, no more new iPhone processors, and eventually, no reliable supply of the semiconductors that power defense systems, cloud computing, and even the internet itself. But while governments fight over who controls the chips, investors need to ask a much deeper question. Who is it that controls the machines and manufacturing knowledge that makes all those chips even possible? Because ASML and TSMC, they don't compete directly. They control two entirely different bottlenecks. And one may be even harder to replace than the other. And that's why in this video, you're going to learn what each company controls, why their relationship has become a geopolitical survival issue, and how all of that could affect the stocks over the next decade. But before we begin, if you're new to the channel, hello, my name is Rick Orford. I'm a Wall Street Journal bestselling author, been trading since 1999, and no, I'm not a financial advisor. But that's a good thing, because I'm right here with you breaking down the numbers so retail investors like us can make smarter, more confident decisions with our money. I want to thank The Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. The Motley Fool is a company that provides investing insight and stock recommendations for investors of all skill sets and risk levels. And you all know how much I love researching new stocks and trying to find the next best investment. So I'm proud to partner with The Motley Fool to bring you 10 stock picks from their popular product, Stock Advisor. Stock Advisor has beaten the market by almost 6 times. Go to fool.com/ricko to get your 10 stock picks right now. All right, so a few years ago, I upgraded my computer without thinking much about what was inside of it. Like most people, I wanted better performance. I wasn't wondering who made the processor or who supplied the machines that were used to manufacture it. Years later, after spending countless hours researching semiconductors, I realized that many of the most advanced processors powering artificial intelligence, smartphones, and cloud computing, they all depend on two companies that most consumers have never even heard of. ASML, they build the extreme ultraviolet lithography systems that are needed to manufacture leading-edge semiconductors. And TSMC uses those machines to produce chips for companies like Apple, NVIDIA, and AMD. So they don't compete. ASML controls the technology that's needed to print the most advanced chip designs. And TSMC controls the manufacturing expertise that's needed to make those chips reliably at an enormous scale. And as the Silicon Cold War intensifies, the question isn't which company is more important. It's which bottleneck the world would struggle most to replace. Now, ASML's monopoly, so to speak, is the cleaner one of the two. The company is the only commercial supplier of extreme ultraviolet, or EUV, lithography systems that are able to produce the world's most advanced semiconductor nodes. So the EUV lithography is printing incredibly small patterns onto silicon wafers. The smaller and more precise those patterns become, the more transistors a chip can hold, and that would improve its power and efficiency. Now, ASML's high-NA EUV platform is the next stage of the process, and it improves resolution by reducing the number of patterning steps that are needed for future manufacturing technologies. Modern high-NA EUV systems cost well over $300 million each, and that price reflects their technical complexity, decades of research and development, and of course, enormous barriers to entry. Without ASML's continued innovation, semiconductor scaling would slow significantly because no alternative supplier currently offers an equivalent platform. Now, before I go any further, I do want to mention my community. I'm happy to say it's becoming one of the fastest growing investing communities here on YouTube. Members talk about specific companies, what they're doing, and even options trading strategies. Now, best part is it's completely free to join. Just scan the QR code right here on the screen or check for the link in the description. Now, going back to TSMC, its dominance is less absolute, but it may be just as difficult to challenge. Samsung and Intel, they can buy the same tools from ASML. And you'd think owning the same machines would produce the same results. But neither has consistently matched TSMC's manufacturing yields, process integration, and production scale. Higher yields mean more usable chips, lower costs, and better economics. And that advantage comes from decades of engineering knowledge, customer qualification, and operational discipline. It can't simply be copied just by ordering another ASML machine. And that creates the first major split. ASML controls the technology that's needed to manufacture the world's most advanced chips. TSMC controls the expertise that's needed to manufacture them at commercial scale. And later, I'm going to come back to why that difference may decide which company owns the deeper moat. Now, monopolies matter because they create pricing power, and both companies have turned their positions into exceptionally profitable businesses. TSMC invests tens of billions of dollars every single year to expand advanced capacity. And despite that spending, it generated more than $122 billion in revenue last year while maintaining a gross margin of nearly 60%. Customers like Apple, NVIDIA, and AMD, they all depend on access to TSMC's leading-edge capacity. And that gives the company considerable negotiating leverage, even as it continues spending heavily on new fabs. But ASML's model is different. Instead of building factories, it invests billions in increasingly sophisticated lithography systems. In 2025, ASML generated 32.7 billion euros at a gross margin of about 53%. And its economics continue even after delivery. ASML earns recurring revenue from services, upgrades, and field options across its growing installed base. So every single machine can keep producing more revenue long after the original sale, and that goes to strengthen its customer relationships, and of course it makes growth less dependent on new deliveries. Now, if you've been watching either of these stocks but think right now while you're watching the video is just too expensive, if that's the case, check this video up here, because I'm talking about how you can sell a put option on a stock you want to own and get paid to wait for it to potentially come down to a lower price. And if it does reach that price, you get to buy the shares. You also get to keep the premium that you received. So going back, now we should talk about valuation because that really rings a bigger question. TSMC monetizes manufacturing scale, customer trust, and execution. ASML monetizes technical leadership, equipment scarcity, and recurring service revenue. But investors aren't buying last year's results. They're buying the durability of those advantages over the next decade. And that's where geopolitics becomes impossible to separate from the investment case. ASML and TSMC are no longer just tech companies. Their positions in the semiconductor supply chain, well, they've turned them into geopolitical assets. Governments have increasingly viewed advanced semiconductor capabilities as matters of economic security, national security, and strategic leverage. TSMC manufactures the overwhelming majority of the world's leading-edge chips, and that makes Taiwan indispensable to economies that need reliable access to advanced processors. And this has given rise to the Silicon Shield, the idea that Taiwan's technological importance gives major economies a powerful incentive to preserve stability around its semiconductor industry. But that concentration cuts both ways. So TSMC's importance may help protect Taiwan, but it also places a critical share of global semiconductor production in one sensitive region. But ASML faces an entirely different geopolitical challenge. Its technology has become an instrument of export policy. Restrictions that were imposed by the Dutch government and coordinated with allies, they've limited advanced lithography exports to selected markets. And that turns ASML's technology into a diplomatic lever and means future growth depends on customer demand and international policy decisions. So TSMC is a strategic target because the world depends on where its chips are made. And ASML is a strategic lever because governments can influence where its machines are sold. Still, strategic importance doesn't guarantee any long-term dominance. Investors also need to ask whether either company can realistically be replicated. I mean, governments can subsidize new factories like Intel and Samsung as they continue to invest in advanced manufacturing. But reproducing TSMC needs a lot more than just constructing new fabs. TSMC invested about $41 billion in capex last year alone, and its advantage still depends on decades of process development, customer qualification, and manufacturing experience. A fab can be built with money. A world-class manufacturing process needs to be learned, refined, and proven over many production cycles. And ASML presents an even bigger challenge. The company invested approximately $4.7 billion in R&D in 2025 alone. And even though Canon continues to develop nano-imprint lithography, it doesn't currently provide a direct commercial substitute for EUV manufacturing. So replicating ASML would require rebuilding decades of capability across precision optics, light sources, and software. And those systems have to work together with extraordinary accuracy. And that's why I see ASML as the deeper bottleneck. TSMC's manufacturing leadership, it's exceptional. But several companies are still trying to compete in advanced foundry production. ASML is still the only company supplying EUV systems that are required to manufacture the world's most advanced chips. Of course, neither moat is immune to risk. For TSMC, the greatest uncertainty is still geopolitics. Its importance to the world, at least to the world economy, also exposes investors to risks far beyond normal business fundamentals. Any escalation in regional tensions could interrupt production and affect customers worldwide. But ASML, they face an entirely different set of risks. Its customer base is already highly concentrated. Demand depends on chip makers investing aggressively in new capacity, and export restrictions limit access to certain markets. And that means ASML can experience significant volatility when equipment spending slows down or government policy changes. And both companies, they share one major risk. If the AI investment cycle slows down any more than expected, customers could delay spending even if the long-term demand for advanced semiconductors remains intact. So ASML and TSMC, they're usually compared as competing investments, but each company's success reinforces the other. Every new leading-edge fab that TSMC builds requires advanced lithography systems provided by ASML. And every breakthrough that ASML delivers gives TSMC another opportunity to extend its manufacturing leadership. One supplies the technology that makes advanced chip manufacturing possible. The other transforms it into billions of commercially viable chips. Governments, they may fight over chip access. They might fight over manufacturing locations and even export rules. Underneath that conflict, though, is a supply chain that's built around two companies that need each other to keep advancing. So in this silicon Cold War, neither company truly wins without the other. And in understanding that connection may actually matter more than asking simply which company is better. So what's my take after all of this? Well, if I had to choose one company for the next decade, I'd be leaning towards ASML. Look, TSMC has already built arguably the finest semiconductor manufacturing business anywhere. It combines unmatched execution, enormous scale, and deep customer relationships. But every single one of those advantages still depend on access to ASML's lithography technology. It's almost a chicken and egg problem. TSMC competes with other foundries, and ASML is still the only company capable of supplying the EUV systems that are needed to manufacture the world's most advanced chips. It doesn't mean that ASML is a safer investment. Any export restriction, customer concentration, or cyclical semiconductor equipment spending, any of this can create periods of volatility that TSMC might actually avoid. But if artificial intelligence continues driving demand for increasingly advanced semiconductors, then ASML's technology becomes more essential, not less. Ultimately, both companies should benefit from the AI era. TSMC might stay the world's most advanced chip manufacturer, but ASML may be maybe the only company providing the machines that make all of that manufacturing possible. So ASML appears to control the deeper bottleneck. And in this silicon Cold War, owning the technology that enables the entire industry may actually prove even more valuable than manufacturing the chips themselves. But now I want to turn it over to you. Do you think ASML's EUV monopoly gives it the stronger long-term moat, or does TSMC's manufacturing scale make it the more valuable company? And before I go, did I forget anything? Did I make any mistakes? Let me know all of that and more in the comments below. And while you're there, if you liked the video, if you found it helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe, because it really does help others find the video. It supports the channel, and it makes sure that you don't miss out on my next deep dive. Well, that's it for me today, at least in this video. Thank you so much for watching. Hope to see you again here on YouTube or in my community. Bye for now.